I'd like to remind everyone about our chat feature at the bottom of the box. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in at the bottom of your screen, the chat dialogue, and we'll get those questions to Mayor Jessup as he concludes his presentation. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Charles Jessup. Charlie served our country as sergeant in the U.S. Army. He's a semi-retired businessman heavily involved in our community who sat on numerous advisory boards and steering committees, as well as the Meadows Place soccer and baseball boards. Mayor Jessup is the only person to ever consecutively preside over the Fort Bend Executive Council and currently represents the Meadows Place at Fort Bend Chamber and the Greater Fort Bend Economic Council, the Development Council. So Charlie, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you tell us what's happening in the Meadows.
Okay, well, hopefully I'm unmuted now. I want to thank you very much for the warm welcome, and I want to point out, and this will become apparent why in a minute, you introduced us as the Meadows. If you look over my shoulder, we are the city of Meadows Place, not the Meadows, but that's part of the reason why we're here. Before I take this mask off, I just want everybody to see that we're trying to keep up and deal with COVID, and my city secretary, Courtney Rutherford, had these made for a ribbon cutting, which you'll see here a little bit as we go through this. And I know some of you want me to put the mask back on, but I'm not. Meadows Place, doing the state of the city is not quite some of the others. The state of the city for Meadows Place is great. We're doing well. It's a wonderful place to live and to work and to be. But our presentation will be a little bit different, more of an introduction and answer the question, who and what is Meadows Place? I saw Sugar Land State of the Union or State of the City coming in February, and that's more typical of what people see. Well, we're not quite that well known. If you can stick that first slide up there. Is it up? And hopefully we'll start the show in just a second. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. We want everybody to meet Meadows Place. We're 1 square mile of wonderful. We have been around for a little bit, and we've had some changes, but I'm going to use this state of the city as a toast to all that we've accomplished, to share the dreams that we've realized and the promises fulfilled, and why we're so excited to be part of a mostly residential, landlocked little 1 square mile city. Oh, we just had an adjustment on our camera tower. So thank you very much, Courtney. Next. Meadows Place and I have to answer this, and so do council and all the people that sit on their boards or commissions, that when folks say, you're a city? Yes, we are a city. As you saw briefly, we're 1 square mile in size. Well, almost. There's 4,660 very nice people who live here. 2 people that were not so nice, but one of them moved, so we're happy. But we were created in 1967 as part of the movement west out of Houston through A-Leaf and the developers that built here. And we started out actually as Meadows Mud and just in the Fort Bend County boundary, which changed incorporated in 1983, which was quite a run. It was interesting because we were in Stafford's ETJ. We were never part of the Stafford community itself, but we were in their ETJ. We were causing them some problems because they were creating a school board, and we had Fort Bend ISD in our city, and it just wasn't compatible. So they weren't going to take us in. We didn't want Houston to come and try to get us. So Stafford released us, and we went ahead and filed for incorporation, and were granted incorporation in 1983. moving on, yeah. And as you can see, we really started out as Meadows, Texas. And you heard the reference to the Meadows. Well, that was kind of interesting because that's what everybody called us, was the Meadows. You see down over in the bottom right, that's Fort Bend County Commissioner who lived in the Meadows, as everybody knew it, and our first mayor, Sue Troyan, on a blustery day, putting up the Meadows, Texas city limit sign. We were quite content with that, and everybody loved being called the Meadows. And but since then we've changed our name in our city. We're getting ready to take a look at some of those changes right now. And as I mentioned, we're now City of Meadows Place, and we are tagged Your Place for Life, and we love it. When we went to change in 1997, we got a letter from the post office. Said, hey, change your name. That's about all it said. No warning, no nothing. Just change your name. We went, well, we like our name. We're a pleasant little city with a pleasant little area and not a bunch of pleasant people. We're keeping Meadows. And they went, no, you're not. And we went and hats off to Jim McDonald and the former councils, Dave Plonka, Little, et cetera, who fought like crazy to keep it. And the post office said, we don't care. There's a town up close to the Oklahoma border that's got about 250 people in it. And their name is Meadow, and you got to change. We came back and said, we're the Meadows, and we have an S. What's wrong with that? They said, well, postman lost a letter, so you got to change your name. So we had a big argument about that. And said, well, we don't understand what happened to the zip code. Why does that work? And they said, well, we don't use the zip code till it gets in the postal zip or the district, so you have to change your name. So we said, well, great. Everybody calls us the Meadows, as you heard us introduce earlier. What a segue. But we'll go with the Meadows. And they said, nope, the Woodlands has the, and there can only be one the in Texas, so you got to change your name. So after a bunch of brouhaha and some people whining and gnashing their teeth, we changed our name to the City of Meadows Place. We became Your Place for Life, and we love it. And we have a great little community. We have a great location. For those that don't know, we are a city, and we're just off of 5969 at Airport Boulevard, the very first exit off the Beltway or off 59 when you come into Fort Bend County. So we're truly the gateway to Fort Bend County, coming this way, and the gateway to Houston the other way. Pre-COVID, this slide had some impact. This is an example of a public-private partnership. We worked with Sterling McCall when they were building their big sign, and we said, yep, we'll be happy to work with you on getting you that permit and stuff, but what we'd like is 10% of your time on that board. So they did, and so we run different events, notices, different things that go up on that big sign. The one I always love, especially when it comes up about 5:45, 6 o'clock at night, when somebody's been stuck in traffic for an hour, that says, if you lived here, you'd be home by now, Meadows Place, Texas. So we have a lot of fun in Meadows Place, but we understand who we are, and we're trying not to be the tail that wags the dog, but we do work on, and we're very, very proud of our location. We're proud of our city, proud of what goes on here, but we're not too full of ourselves. I put that wall of heroes up because it was Veterans Day a couple days ago, and we have a lot of veterans here in the city of Meadows Place, but we've also got a lot of active service people. If you walk into our city hall, you'll see that wall of heroes is on on the wall at City Hall. And those are all active service members except for one who's spent 20-something years in the Navy and's retired. If I had a clicker, I'd point out the one soldier there in the middle on the right-hand side. That guy has a really knot note down all the way to the right. Other right. Yeah, there. That guy. Yeah, that one right there. He's a JAG officer in the Navy out in Washington. He's got a really nice dad. So I wanted to point that out. That's his dad stuck in the middle of the dinosaur head right now. That was part of one of our 4th of July festivals, and we do have a lot of fun and what we think is the best 4th of July festival around. And according to several of our commissioners and state reps, it is. All kind of people come from all over to come watch our 4th of July parade. The guy up in the tower, that bald eagle, stops by Meadows Place every once in a while, and then swoops down into our lake and that we built in 2011, scoops up fish for lunch. And I just wanted to show off that we have all kinds of things showing up in Meadows Place, so we're thrilled. The Meadows Place, Your Place for Safety, is part of a campaign that we ran and continue to run to let people and remind ourselves that we are a safe place, and we work hard for it. And we've got a police department that really does try to protect and look after us. And that, by the way, is also on that sign up at Sterling McCall, and we thank them very much for running those things. I want you to take a peek at Meadows Place. The state of our city is great, and we're like everybody else, we're getting beat up by COVID a little bit. But we started off, we're going to have Santa Claus here. We're going to have a Christmas memory celebration. It won't be quite the same as we usually have, but we're going to have one. Moving right over the top, that's city council chambers, and that's also our courtroom and town hall meeting room, et cetera. But what we have there is we've got some of our youth that are getting scholarships from the Home and Garden Club, getting ready to go off to college. And we're also that night happen to be recognizing the lifeguards for all the work they did in looking after us for the summer. The event on the right, you'll see another similar slide to that later in this presentation. That's the city of kids in 4th and 5th grade in Meadows Elementary. And that's Meadows Elementary in the background up there in the tannish building that's no longer there. You'll see why in a minute. But that's Texan Parks and Wildlife personnel giving a lecture to the kids and a lesson on fish, cycle of life in lakes, etc., and making a big presentation to them after a big trout release. The teachers love it. Texan Parks and Wildlife love it, and we're the only city in Texas that does this. And that's those kids walk from over there and come and listen to this. They have the trout release. Everybody has a great time, and the teachers love it as well. On the right-hand side is Colleen Cabezas being interviewed by Channel 39 after they found out we put a bunch of little free libraries around, or free little libraries around the city. And those are 3 of them in our park up at, that's now Elfman Park for kids of physical difficulties that we've converted to that. And I just realized I left that slide out. But it's one of the things we have scattered around the cities, and people really use them to come book exchange. The bottom slide is a gathering of the students again out in our park as we launch a big kickoff from Monarch Migration Celebration as part of our Monarch Madness Butterfly Festival, where we have the Save the Quail people. We've got migration people there, and the prairie grass people are there. So all working together with Centerpoint Energy, and we hope to put together a flyaway from down in the valley all the way up to Texas. And it started out kind of that focal group here in Meadows Place. As you can see there, a welcoming sign that says Meadows Place, your place for life. And that's what we think it is. And it's a place to live and have fun and work. This is accommodation. That's our city hall. It's very utilitarian and does the job. And so we did a good job spending taxpayer money. I'm sitting here giving this out of my office, which is also the conference room and also the jury room. So we try to make use of all our space. And if you look at that map or the photo on the right, you'll see we do make use of our space. That's a musical event where folks turn out. We have a great time out here, and we encourage everybody in the city to participate. And as you can see, a lot of people do. And they also participate in our 4th of July parade, which you've heard me mention a couple times. And if you look way down the way there, you can see people lined up for blocks, one way and blocks the other. That's because typically almost half the people are either in the parade, as the girls are in the top on the floats, or they're watching the parade. And we come by and we just have a really great time, and we celebrate the 4th of July merrily with festivities here. And by the way, before I forget it, we've also got a dog park, which we worked with one of our commercial folks, Texas Direct Auto at the time. They're now Vroom, who put in and maintain a dog park for us. And we're really appreciative for that. It's not a very big dog park. It's a small dog park, but then again, we're kind of small, only 1 square mile. And the clicker's moving. There it is. Yeah, there's a delay. Okay, so of course, I'm subtly being told to don't be impatient. There's a delay. Up in the top left, I'm really proud of this. And I want y'all to know that Dulles High School and Clements High School came together, and they wanted to organize a fundraiser and wanted to try to do something neat. And they came to us and worked with our parks director, and they came up with this Light the Night. And boy, was it successful. It takes place during one of our spring musical events here in Meadows Place, which we invite the whole city to, and a lot of them turn out. And you can see right there, a lot of folks came out, lit up these little things that they sell for $5 or $10. You write a card on it, send it down the lake, and it is just beautiful. And those two schools work together to really hard to make this work nice, and it does in Meadows Place. The top right, I just want to show you that was a sign during our 4th of July parade. Our folks are really appreciative of our police, fire, and EMS, and of course our veterans and our troops. So we had to stop and take a shot of that, but I want to let you know it's not just talk, my talk. Our folks are really appreciative and support of all of our first responders. The bottom right, that was at a camp out. We have an overnight camp out in our park, which is attended by Texas Parks and Wildlife, Gulf Coast Conservation Association, and others that come out. We teach kayaking, bow and arrow shooting, all that kind of stuff. The big teepee is part of a Native American culture exposition and event. People came and made beads and sewed moccasins and learned a lot about Native American history, especially as it pertained to Texas. Again, that fire truck, that's 4th of July parade. All those kids get to ride around, and boy, is it loud, and it's a lot of fun. The event on the bottom is took place at the dad. That's all right. Yeah, at our Kid Fish. We had invited the city to join out there at the parks, and we have a Kid Fish competition, and we hand out free rods and bait and all that stuff, or you can bring your own if you want. And we work hand in hand with Gulf Coast Conservation Association in that. And boy, is it a fun event. I think last year we had 62 kids catch 192 fish or something like that. And we've got some big fish in there, as you'll see. Moving on with delay. Not everything is fun, although this is a fun project. But you'll see in the top, those little 4 whirly deals, those used to be the 4 famous or infamous stop signs in Meadows Place as you drove through on Kirkwood. This is a long project, and it was really a pain to get started, and I really wasn't in favor of it so much when we first kicked off, but I really became sold on replacing those stop signs as part of the road reconstruction project, because the road was falling apart and we needed to fix it. But we couldn't come back with stop signs. So what you see on the bottom left over there, that's the night vision. It's almost magical when you drive through there now. And you don't have to stop, you just kind of glide right on through. And you can see we just cut that, what, Courtney, 2 days ago?
Tuesday.
Now, Tuesday, we cut that ribbon, and boy, were we proud to do so. We're going to try to, we're going to show you a little bit about how all this worked. Now, there's some really cool music going on right now. Man, is it neat. Sorry you can't hear it. Technical difficulty. But take a look at what you see, and this is by Josh Merritt of Merritt Media. He ran this, and he put this really cool backdrop music in. Go and you can watch some of this on our website. So we finally cut that ribbon in off with the county judge and county commissioner Grady Pestridge out there, plus a lot of staff that worked so hard on it. And we've always got something going on in Meadows Place. We don't like a lot of downtime, but we always ask them, what's next? And right now, we've already started on our next project. We cut that ribbon on Tuesday. Yesterday was Wednesday, and we had a meeting on our new bond project. And we're excited about this. This is a proposed bike project between Meadows Place and Stafford, in which will potentially hook up to the bike trails in Houston. Maybe it's someday, not in my lifetime probably, but I hope it does. But this, you'll see the yellow is Stafford, the orange is Meadows Place, and we're working with them, and it's going to be a great ability for people to go all the way from Meadows Place over to the fountains, if you know where that's at. Hit this next slide and we'll show you a little bit about what's taking place in Meadows Place and what I'm really excited, because remember, we're 1 square mile, so we're not very big. But that lake is the lake that we created in 2011 for to have water to irrigate with and catch fish in. But we're going to be coming up with a proposed parking lot, a new parking lot, in addition to the one we have now, which will make access to our training center a lot easier. And you'll see more on that. You'll see the the orange, that's the trail. That's going to be a curbed trail, so it maintains itself better. And then you'll see that little red thing over toward the right in the middle of the screen. That's a bridge. Isn't that a beautiful bridge? It is. And it's going to allow the kids to leave the elementary school, walk down the trail through the butterfly area, the migration area, across a bridge, across the drainage area, the bayou, to come into our, we got technical difficulties. We're getting ready to go get a charger before her computer dies. So we've got a Discovery and Nature Center that you're going to see, and we took over a house and rebuilt it, and now it's next to our pool. It'll lead directly across from the school, next to the pool, into Discovery and Nature Center, and I think we're going to make it before we go blind. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Is she in?
Yes.
Yes, we're in. Okay. Good remembering, Courtney. Yeah, I didn't know you were that fast. But not everything is a serious business and hard work. We do enjoy ourselves. And what we did here, we took one of our medals. We've got these cool little butterfly bottles that we are drinking water that our EDC gets to promote our city. And so we ask people to pick up a Meadows Place water bottle, take it during their travels. Of course, this is pre-COVID, and they would win a dinner. The winner, the one with the most likes when we had the contest in, would win for dinner for two at Avenida Brazil. Now, what is Avenida Brazil? Avenida Brazil is the first Brazilian steakhouse in Fort Bend County. It's still located up there, and it is absolutely delicious. And if you haven't been there, you need to. But so here's some of the bottle shots that people took. I started it off with one of our city hall lit up at night, and it was really pretty. And then you see this one with the bobcat. That's obviously somebody's ignoring museum rules. The guy in the top was at one of our festivals, walking around. He's about 8 feet tall on stilts and stuff. Had a lot of fun showing off that bottle, and somebody got a picture. The one on the right side is somewhere down in the Caribbean, and they're bragging on the water. And the one on the right, bottom left over there, that's Texas water. That's the Frio, and that got, I think, the third most likes because everybody just liked the Frio. And who doesn't, I guess. You see the big sophisticated building on the right, the one on bottom left, that's the Sun God Garden up in Colorado. You see the Coliseum there in Rome, and the bottom one, or the other one, the big one is that's Tasmania. So we had some people cover some ground. I don't even know too many of the big people have been to Tasmania. The top left, you got back to Cozumel with a great picture, wasn't it? Here's somebody else on surely violating museum rules to get that picture with that shark. I'm not sure if that's Greek or Roman, and where that hillbilly checkerboard is, I'm not sure. But the winner was the one that with the Eiffel Tower. He got the most likes. He came to pick it up and told us that it was his wife's birthday that weekend. So they took and went to Avenida Brazil and had a wonderful time up there. So we encourage you to do the same. Now a little bit on Nature Center. You can see it on the right. Remember that turtle up on the left, though. She's going to come into play. That's Harriet. You'll hear more about there. These are some of the critters there, and our Discover Nature Center. We're trying to redo it to deal with COVID. We had it really on a roll. People were coming in every day from our city and from everywhere else's. Grandmas and aunts and uncles would come to visit their kids and grandkids and bring them up there. And all those critters are critters that we have at the Nature Center, plus some more like some of the goats and the rabbits and other things that are there. But you can see it's got an opportunity for everybody. We have birthday parties that allow there. We have cooking shows that take place there. Televised cooking shows have been held there. We have private parties. We have field trips for public schools, privates, and we have scouts are in there and all those kind of stuff. So we just use the heck out of that, and we redid that thanks to Regis Construction out of Stafford, who came in and did most of that work in kind. But our Discovery and Nature Center works closely with the Monarch Migration Group, where we raise some monarchs. We show them off at the festival, get people encouraged to planting in the city. And we've had a lot of folks with a lot of success in creating a breeding ground for monarch butterflies. The interesting on the one on the right, now it's Harriet's kids right there. Those 5 little turtles just showed up. We didn't even know she'd laid eggs, and they started wandering around us. So we gathered them up out of our turtle sanctuary over there. And you can see from the size of that quarter how big they are. Well, for those who don't know, and I didn't know until Colleen told me, that Texas box turtles are on a decline, mostly because of habitat loss. And so we're trying to do that. And Texas Parks and Wildlife is really thrilled that we're going to work with them on that. We'll be putting these and Harriet's other future kids back into the wild at select places that they pick to hopefully keep on going and to grow the population. Just a little bit of fun from Meadows Place. That's another one. Of course, that tortoise is now about twice that size because that was taken about a year or so ago. During one of the school field trips, we got 32 field trips a year is what we're averaging before COVID. A lot of them were from Meadows Elementary, where we walk across. We kind of have to walk around now until we get our bridge. But you can see we have Home and Garden Club there. The community garden meets there, the scouts, the baseball board, swim team board. Our Economic Development Corporation's having a meeting there tonight. So we utilize the heck out of that thing. And so we invite anybody to come over. This is one of our sugar gliders, which you'll see that one again. I just love that guy. There's 2 of them, and they are fun. The turtle shell you see, it's a sea turtle shell. It was found on a beach and given to our parks director, Colleen, by her dad, who found it a few years ago, like in '59 or something, and donated it to her. Those kids right there have got having a lot of fun, and we'll, of course, pre-COVID, everybody got to touch everything. So we're working through that, and those guys have got a great granddad, by the way. Okay, we're right at 30 minutes, so they're telling me I got to hurry. Typical of of a community, but this is a city pool, but it started out, it was actually there before the city was. And so that's always been a huge part of our community. This is a splash day where we have prizes given away, and the little ducks that are out there. The lifeguards have a contest. We hand out free hamburgers and hot dogs, and have music and all kind of games going on, stack the Oreos, etc. And we just have a ball, and it's a central focal point to our community. Water is important to us, and it's important to people all over the world. We were sponsoring and working with Living Water International. We've got some folks that live in Meadows Place that work with Living Water, and we were thrilled to partner up with them for a 5K fun run. It got wiped out by COVID. We're hoping to bring it back. So if it does, keep an eye out for it next year. But we partner up with all kinds of folks on that. Not everything's outdoor that we do. This is in our city hall, which I said it's very utilitarian, but we're converting it this time into an orchestra chamber. Well, actually, a quartet chamber. This is Opus 4. They are a renowned group, that string quartet that plays and performs all over the place, and they perform once a year for free to the public here in Meadows Place. They're trying to promote the arts, and the fellow with the distinguished looking gentleman with the beard, Mr. Donati, is a resident here, and we're thrilled that he is, and he brings those folks in. And what I like is we got all those cool snacks for people to enjoy, everything really fancy, olives and grapes and what's that thing called? A chocolate fountain, which some of us enjoy. But that's a great event, and if you ever see it, come over. One of the things that we're very, very proud of is our school. Meadows Elementary was one of the first schools opened up after Lakeview when Fort Bend ISD was formed. Meadows Elementary was created and built, and it's right in the center of town. It's not on a big highway street or big 80,000 car thoroughfare. It's right in the middle of our city, and that's going to be what our new one looks like. You saw our old one a little bit a bit ago, and they came to us on a call. I got a call on Friday night saying, "Hey, we're going to tear your school down. If you want to talk to the school board, be here." And you see all those folks in the red shirts there. They were there on Monday night at the school board. We organized. We came out. We worked very, very hard to save Meadows Elementary. There's a few key players that really got this thing organized. As some of the best mayor and I ever did. I said, "Well, here, I'll unlock the door." And they went to work, and it was fantastic. And we managed to save Meadows Elementary. And then right after they said, "We're going to, yep, you can have it," they said, "You're going to have to tear it down." And you can see why we worked so hard to save Meadows Elementary, because it is the heartbeat of our community. That's all right. I guess it went on. But you can see the school is still there. They said, "We're going to tear it down." They got after it, and they tore it down in no time, and that's them hauling it off. And we were saying, wow, we just wanted to see it coming back up. And so what we've done, we put 2 cameras up. We put cameras up on either side so we could watch them. And we're going to put a timeline from tearing it down to putting it back up. This is one view from one side of it, and that's a view from the other side. And the bottom and the left, that's kind of a view from the top that we did. And let's see if we can find something else. Again, man, there's some really cool music going on. And I'm sorry you can't hear it, technical difficulties. But this is, again, done by Josh Merritt, Merritt Media, got in there, worked with them, and put it, oh, this is really cool part music-wise. So let your head, but this is going on inside the Meadows Elementary. We're going to have the lower grades on the bottom, the upper grades on the top. They've got a communal outside science room that they're going to be working on. It is truly going to be a 21st century learning center, and we're excited about it. And if we can move on. Okay, we are. We have another video that if you ever want to come in, you can come see, and that's about our water system. And we're excited about our water system. We are on groundwater. We're on well water. We're not on groundwater. We have 3 wells here in the city of Meadows Place, 1, 2, 3, strategically located at our borders. And it's each well will carry the city if they have to. And we've had it where we needed it to. It's a little nerve-wracking, but we've got plenty of capacity, and that does allow us for all the growth that we can have, because we're only 1 square mile, don't have a whole lot of growth room area. But we've got over 13 miles of water pipe. Hydro-pneumatic pressure tanks are there to balance that water pressure out. You see it there on the left. That's part of our water video that goes on to explain about our loop system, how we're laid out, what we do to make sure that we got good, clean, safe water in Meadows Place. One of the exciting things for me was when we put in our automatic meter readers. This was another first for the city of Meadows Place, and sometimes being small is a benefit because you can be nimble. And we were here. We completed our city with automated meters a few years back. You can see the wires coming off the top of that lid. They go down to the meters. They send a signal up to some data gathering points located around the city, and they send that data straight to the desk of the utilities clerk, where they gather it all and send the utility bills out from right there. And it's fantastic. But the important part is the fact that we test our water on an ongoing daily basis. We have to do all the reporting, et cetera. Not only does our water taste good, it's clean, and we've never had any violations for TCEQ water quality testing. And we're real proud of that. But the benefit of that automatic meter reading system is both for the city and the residents. The city can take a glance at every day, and we can see that everything's working. We can see how many leaks we may have, how many have no flowed. Some of these are rental houses that are empty. We've got about 8 to 10% of our homes are rental. So we're not, that's not a huge problem. But we are able to work with it, and it's also for the residents. I've got it, and I go to Ion Water and I check it out occasionally. And then one day I got a warning email to me. What the heck is this? So I opened it up, and you can see I've got a little bit of leak on the bottom there, because you shouldn't have anything showing. And then all of a sudden I had a pretty big leak. So I went home and found out what was going on and had it fixed. And that was taken, the 10th, 2 days ago, where you can see where somebody had to have a bathroom break, and then got up and took a shower to go out to the ribbon cutting. And then all the rest of the hours, you see nothing. So it's working. And that's available to every resident in the city of Meadows Place that's got a computer and an online hookup. So it's a pretty modern system, and we're happy. Back to the city, state of the city. Financially, we're in great shape. We've got about a year in reserves. You can see our revenues and expenses. The revenues are higher than the expenses. That's a good thing. You look on the graphs, the things that are going up are going up. The things that should be going down are going down. And I'm really proud to announce that this year we are debt free. We went into this budget year with 0 debt to carry. That's kind of where that is on that bottom. And so we're actually a couple years ahead of schedule. And that's because we have a great staff, great finance department. We've swapped over to, I'm going to take this opportunity to say, we've kind of changed our form of government, gone from just a strong mayor position to a city administrator, and we're moving forward to increase the professionalism of our city, and it's great, and I'm so happy that we've been able to finally do that. Meadows Place, the housing stock has gone up. I've got a 2020 graph. I'm just not technologically able to pull it out of Excel spreadsheet and stick it into this thing this morning. So I messed that up, but you can still, it's still going up. Average prices are still climbing. The highest price for a house that we know of in Meadows Place is $283,000. When you can see over the bottom, that's a heck of a jump. But people are moving in and they're working real hard, and we're seeing a lot of money poured into houses for improvement, and it's starting to pay off. This is for me to take a breath and remind me that I need to hurry so we can finish. And I thought you might enjoy seeing him. One of the things that make it, beside all those fun things and the fact that we're so strong, is the fact that we've got tremendous first responders looking after us. We have an award-winning police department that looks after us here in Meadows Place, and we're so proud and so happy to have them. We're also proud of the fact that we got 24/7 police, fire, and EMS service in our little 1 square mile city. And you can imagine driving all the way across town is now been about 16 blocks. So we get great response times here in Meadows Place. This is some of the things that we're looking at, and our police department is, we may feel like Mayberry, but our police department treats us as we're more like downtown Detroit. Our guys practice hard and train hard to be ready. We've got a wonderful relationship with people like Laser Shot, who work with us to develop new laser technology training centers, and they come in and they've used Meadows Place Police Department to actually in part of their advertising. We're tickled with that because we work with them all the time, and you'll see up on the right where they're actually in the process of doing some online training where they can change the scenario on these folks in a minute, and all of a sudden what can seem fine is now going south. But those folks on the bottom right may look real serious, and they are serious, and they're very good at their job, but they love our community and they treat us wonderfully, and they are the essence of community policing. We try to keep them equipped. We try to keep them trained. And this is the latest Meadows Place ghost car. You know, we started a new budget year in October, ordered a cop car, and that got here the other day, and that's our latest Meadows Place ghost car. We rotate our stock annually with at least 1 or 2 cars going every year and get new ones in. They're going to be able to sneak up on some people with that one for sure, but it's neat looking during the day and at night, and we love it. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's going to slide in. This is a shot of our training center where from the back where we built this a few years ago, and it houses our emergency operations center and our training center. Let's go ahead and show them the inside of the training center, Courtney, and this is it. You can kind of see what we're doing here. Upper left, we've got the district attorney down here talking with our police department on the new domestic violence protocols to make sure we understand them, and we're doing our social distancing and all that kind of stuff in there now. The bottom is a regular self-defense class that we convert from a training studio to a classroom and back again very, very easily, and we do it all the time. We train with different agencies, so you'll see people in that room sometimes taking classes from Sugar Land, Missouri City, Harris County, Fort Bend County, and others as well. And the one on the right, I love this one. I'm not ready to do it though. Is getting tased as part of taser training. You can't go out and tase somebody without being tased first and knowing what you're doing. And so that's part of the practice. And we've got a police captain that really enjoys doing that. So we never have any trouble getting volunteers to do the training, the tasing part. We mentioned people improving, and we've had folks come in here and pull permits for improvement in their house, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. one I think about the record 72,000. It looks the same on the outside more or less, but inside it's different. Look at those backyards. I mean, that's part of the home tour that we conduct every once in a while. We didn't do one this year, but you get a chance to see and get and share ideas, etc. The kitchen on the right is just absolutely stunning. And that was part of our nature center conversion. Then we followed that from ideas that Colleen had, and we got ideas out of some of these other houses. So I want you to look at these. These are some of the things that we do, but I want you to know the most important part of that is the water. We're part of the Fort Bend Subsidence District. We're irrigating our city and our parks. We got an 8-acre park up there. We're irrigating and others, and it was costing us money. And I went, man, I got to get out from under this. And public works director say, well, I've wanted to put in an irrigation lake. And I said, well, wow, let's talk. And timing was just right. Council was just right. We came up and we worked with the county who came out and dug this lake and worked with us on it. It was just fantastic. The boy is, that's some kid fish time right there. And you may find bigger fish, but you'll never find a bigger smile than that. The one on the right, that's the hand of our president of our Economic Development Corporation holding that fish up that his grandson caught. He could get it in, but he couldn't lift it up. So that's pretty good. And he's grown quite a bit since this. The bottom picture is one, as you remember, you see all the 4th and 5th graders out there. Well, I just been over there talking to them and visiting with them, and all of a sudden everybody went, ooh, ah, and screaming and hollering. I thought I'd said something really smart or at least funny. But what I found out happened was that an osprey came down, swooped down and grabbed the fish, and everybody got to see it but me because I had my back turned. It was a pretty exciting time, but that's what happens out in Meadows Place. But that lake is something that we built 2011, and I could give an hour-long presentation on just that. Well, as a matter of fact, I have done it in Denver, Dallas, Fort Worth, at some water symposiums on recycled water and reclaimed water by small cities. We're doing nothing that's new technologies, but we've done it in a way that's inexpensive, effective, efficient, and can be built upon itself, double or triple. And we've been around to do that. That upper right, that's our wastewater treatment facility. We take the water out of the back of that, which is pretty dang clean, almost type 1 water in itself, because we run a good plant. And then we run it through that pipeline that we built, about 3,750 yards of purple pipe that we put throughout the city. We've got proper TCEQ testing stations, all that kind of good stuff. We run it through a filter, which is just an amazing miracle of simplicity that works wonderfully well, and it's easy to keep clean, easy to maintain. We've had folks from all over the world, from Norway to different countries in South America, come and say, well, this is it? Well, yeah, but the result is you run that water out of that, and I'm telling you, it's as clean as the water in this, and run it out that purple pipe down to that lake, and that's the lake when we first turned it on and said, there you go. And you can see the hills that we came, and that's all the dirt that came out of there. And so now we have a beautiful area that we can pull that water from and save the city hard dollars on pumpage fees from the water district. So all in all, it was a great asset and a great amenity to build. I'm proud of it. And we're always adding amenities. We're always trying to do things. We're trying to become a very progressive city with conservative ideas and financing. And we've managed to do that at this point. We try to stress the importance of recycling and being ecologically aware. And we produced a little film on how to have a recycle impact. Merit Media put together something that actually flew a drone over the in the recycle plant. It's amazing. You can go on our website and look at that. It's fun. It's fun to watch about that. but we decided to put in a bathroom into a part of our park that hadn't had one forever, and it dawned on us that we probably ought to. And so when we did, Colleen came and said, "Hey, why don't we put in an environmentally friendly bathroom?" I said, "Okay, educate me." And so this is what we ended up putting in. That this, you see it up here on this top left, that's a solar panel up there which runs all the lights, electricity needed to run this bathroom. These catch the rainwater from outside and run it into the water to help with the flushing of the commode in the toilet. We put in portable, potable water, so our hand sinks of potable water run through them, and if we ever have a drought, we can still flush the toilets. But that's sitting there, and it's an ecologically friendly bathroom, and we're really proud of it. So that's just kind of the things that we're doing to looking forward to our future in every aspect of it that we can, and we work hard to make sure that happens. So with that, that kind of wraps it up. You've heard a little bit about City of Meadows Place, and if you got any questions, I'm hoping somebody's smart enough to answer. That's it for me. Thank you very, very much for the opportunity to share the story of Meadows Place. Answer that. Is it a city? Yes, it is a city, a real one, with a city hall and all. Come see us. And I see some questions. There is anything to chat about, or they go home? And you there?
Chuck? Hey, Charlie. This is Chris Breaux.
Yeah,
hey,
Chris.
Great presentation. Hey, thanks for coming out and talking to us today about City of Meadows Place. I'd like to correct you. It's not just a mile of wonderful. It's a mile of wow. We do appreciate you being out here and sharing with all the wonderful things you guys are doing in the Meadows Place.
Thank you, Chris.
At this time, we're running a little, well, my pleasure. We're running a little short on time, but I want everyone to be aware that on December 10th, the Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce is hosting the annual holiday celebration meet and greet with our newly elected officials at Constellation Field from 5 to 7 p.m. Tickets are limited, so register today. If you're interested in joining our webinars, please view the chamber calendar at fortbendchamber.com for additional details and to register. Thank you all for tuning in. I'd like to thank the mayor and our sponsor, Paradigm Consultants, again for their generosity. The recording of this webinar will be available within 24 hours. You guys go out and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, sir. Be good.
Yes, sir.